It's mid-season review time for the Kangaroos today. We're having a look at North Melbourne season so far, all their best players, all their worst players, and what's to come for the rest of season 2025 for the Kangaroos. Hope you enjoy. Sit back. Let me know in the comments what you think. This is the Old Aussie Rules YouTube channel. Enjoy. Welcome on in to the All Aussie Rules YouTube channel. We've got another mid-season review coming your way today. It's the North Melbourne Kangaroos 2025 mid-season review. As each team gets to their bye this season, we are doing a mid-season review, having a look at how they've gone so far this year, have a look at all their players, who's been good, who hasn't been as good, and a look to the future. How will the rest of 2025 pan out for each team? So that is our goal today. We're doing North Melbourne. This is the fourth team that is going to be up. We've already got the Bulldogs, Port Adelaide and Carlton up on the channel, so go check them out once you're done with this one. Plenty of content as each team gets to the bye. We'll continue on. So there's 2 next week and then 4 the next 3 or 4 weeks after that. So plenty of content for you to catch up on. This is the All Aussie Rules YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit that noti bell so you don't miss any videos. And let's jump straight into it. We got North Melbourne Kangaroos, the season so far for them. We'll go game by game to start with. That opening round bye. So they started off in round 1. It was a tough one against the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium, and they actually played pretty well in this one. Only lost by 16 points. Wasn't a bad performance by any stretch of the imagination that day. Started okay. Melbourne was a great win. They were only about 3 goals up at 3/4 time. But boy, did they turn it up in that final quarter. Basically the reverse of what they've done a few times since, but they turned it on in that final quarter and a bit, to destroy Melbourne by 59 points. Round 3, they went to Adelaide Oval. Once again, solid result, 36-point loss to the Crows at home. Adelaide have been really good this year, so that's not a bad loss. Sydney at Marvel Stadium by 65 points, not such a great result. Sydney struggled so far this year, so that one's probably one of their worst results of the year. Gold Coast, they lost by 52 points after being up in the third quarter. They just fell apart in that game, and Gold Coast absolutely tore them apart. Carlton was a bad one, 82-point loss at Marvel Stadium. That was on Good Friday. Round 7, they played Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval, went down by 9 points. Really competitive game. They lost it in the first quarter, and then after that, they were really competitive, nearly got themselves not just back in the game, but in front almost. The Bombers continued on this little run that they had, a good 4 or 5 week stretch where they were competitive, looked like they were going to be a chance to win it late, but didn't quite get there, lost by 3 points. Then their best performance of the year, down at Ninja Stadium in Hobart against the reigning premiers in Brisbane, and held on for a draw. Had a chance for a win. But yeah, a really good result, that one. Round 10, they played the Tigers, got a 4-point win over them in a really tight contest of a couple teams that are down towards the bottom of the ladder. And then last week against Collingwood, they were right in it, up 9 points at halftime, down 3 points at 3/4 time, but Collingwood turned it on in the final quarter, blew them out by 45. Very similar to the Gold Coast game, in all honesty. That has them 11 games into their season at the bye. 2 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. Percentage isn't terrible for a team that's only won 2 games in 11 matches at 78.1. They're 17th on the ladder, half a game behind Richmond as it stands. Their record against the top 8, as you would expect, isn't great. 4 losses and a draw. And their record against the bottom 10, slightly better. 2 wins, 4 losses. And that's basically a sum up of where they are at for season 25 so far. We'll jump into some key important stats for North Melbourne so far this year. I don't have a graphic, but we'll read them out. Offensively, their scoring is 14th in the league, so not too bad scoring-wise so far this year, but defensively they are 17th, one of only 2 teams that currently are conceding more than 100 points per game. So that is not ideal for them. age, the 14th oldest team, so one of the younger teams in the competition, as based on teams that have the team that they play each week, not based on the whole squad, just who's playing in the game. Explain that poorly, but I think you get what I mean. Inside 50s, they're ranked 17th. For shots on goal, they're 17th. Thankfully, like the last couple of years, they are one of the most accurate teams. The second most accurate team so far this year. So that is a positive. The second highest team in score percentage from stoppage. So their total score percentage-wise from stoppage, they're number 2. They do score a lot of their scoring from that area of the ground. And points from centre clearances is where they're really good at. They're third best at points from centre clearance. So that's total points across the board. That means they're up there with teams that score a lot more than them in the game. They do well from the centre clearance. Transition-wise, they are not great. From defensive half to forward 50, they're 18th in the competition so far this year. Transition defence to a score is also 18th. So their transition game so far this year is not great. Clearly needs some work. Their ability to move the ball from end to end. Opposition goals per inside 50, they're also ranked 18th. So when the opposition go into the 50, into the opposition's forward 50, they score with relative ease. So 18th in that area. And they're one of the bottom 3 teams in most transition categories. Their ability to stop transition game and not let it be scores as well is really quite poor in comparison to every other team. So they have a lot of areas to work on. They have a few positives. Obviously, their clearance work, their stoppage work does really well to get them scores. They don't get much from turnover, which is a key area for most teams. So they definitely have a couple positives, but there's also a lot of negatives there still for the North Melbourne Football Club. We'll jump into the players, work our way through. First up, we're in the defence line as we start each of these videos. In the back line, key defenders, they've had a few that have gone through this role so far. Aidan Corr has played 9 games. He ranks as an average player. It's not too bad. Ranked 25. Charlie Coburn, his best is good. He's ranked 27th. Toby Pink's 39th. He's had a couple key moments, though, that would suggest maybe better than that. Certainly, I think all 3 of them are capable of being better than what they're ranked at the moment. And then 3 players that are unranked. So if you haven't played 5 games or more so far this year, you are currently unranked. So that's Griffin Logie, Cullen Dawson, and Matt Whitlock. General defenders, they've obviously had quite a few in this area of the ground as well. Caleb Daniels played at all 11 games. He ranks as a top class general defender so far this year, ranked 19th in that position. Riley Hardiman has shown some really good signs. He was very good last week against Collingwood. He ranks average, 56th best. I think we'll see him improve. Colby McKercher down in 69th is a bit lower than perhaps he's capable of. Luke McDonald 72nd. Darcy Tucker 87th and Finn O'Sullivan 91st. His first year as well. So you'll expect to see him improve over time. He doesn't get a heap of the ball at the moment, but when he does have the ball, he is pretty efficient. So that is a positive. But they've got only 2 people that are average or best. So that's in the top 60% of that position. That's Caleb Daniel and Riley Hardiman. I've got 4 in that up below average. And then there's 2 unranked, Jackson Archer and Zach Fisher. Zach Fisher's numbers actually capable of putting him into around about that top class categories. Obviously, he's only played 3 games, but potentially could be certainly in the above average area. Moving into the forward line, key forwards, they've added Jack Darling to help out Nick Larkey, and to be honest, it probably has helped. Nick Larkey at the moment is above average, ranked 22nd as a key forward. He's probably a little bit down on his best. He hasn't been as effective as he has previous years. Still pretty solid numbers. Jack Darling is average. I think that's about where he is these days. He's played 300 games. He's probably past his peak, but he's ranked 26 as a key forward. And Finbar Maley has only played the 4 games so far. He's still unranked. His rating is not high at the moment, but he's a first-year key forward. You don't expect big numbers from them. General forwards, Paul Curtis has been absolutely outstanding. He rates as elite, number 2 best general forward in the competition so far. Obviously has missed 3 games through suspension, but his other 8 games have been fantastic. Cameron Zurhaar, he's also top class so far this year, so he's ranked 20th as a general forward. He's had a really good year. Jacob Constanti has played 11 games. He rates below average. We haven't seen a great deal of quality play from him, I don't think. And Zane Dersma, he's a bit even further down. He's ranked 90th as a general forward. Moving into the midfield line, inside midfielders, we've got about 10 of them. Not even that many, but 7. Luke Davies-Yanaki is currently rated as their best. He's 42nd in the competition as an inside mid, though, this season, rating in that average category. Same can be said for Harry Sheasel. He's 44th. Started the season down back, has transitioned more into a full-time midfield role. Look, they're playing solid football. They're just not reaching the heights that perhaps a lot of people expect that these players are capable of. Jai Simpkin, he's the same. He's in that average category, 48. Tom Powell, he's 56th. So they've got 4 players there ranked between 42nd and 56 as inside mids, and nobody above that. Most teams are going to have 1 or 2 at least in that top 30. So the fact that they don't have any in the top 41 is not a great sign, but I think all of those players are actually capable. Certainly the top 2 certainly are capable of being top 15 midfielders in the competition. So I think we'll see improvements from them in the back half of the year and into 2026. But at the moment, they don't have a great deal of quality play from their inside mids so far this year. George Wardlaw, he's only played 5 games. He's in the below average category. I think he's another one that could certainly improve and rise up. And Luke Parker, he's below average at the moment. I mean, he's probably best is playing as a high half forward into a midfielder role. Hasn't been at his best this year, I don't think. And Will Phillips is unranked so far from 4 games, but hasn't been outstanding in those. Outside mids, Dylan Stevens has played 10 games, 21st best outside mid in the comp. So pretty decent without being outstanding. Bailey Scott, he's well and truly in the below average category. And Robert Hansen Jr. has only played the 4 games. He plays a bit of general forward, a bit of outside mid, and he has not been putting up great numbers yet. The one person on their team that has been outstanding is Tristan Cherry. He's played all 11 games. He's been fantastic. He's the number 1 ranked ruckman and actually the number 1 ranked player in the competition so far this year. He passed Max Gawn on the weekend. He was outstanding against Collingwood. He's been outstanding most of the year. I still think Max Gawn is probably the best ruckman in the competition, but so far this season, Tristan Cherry has just pipped him for the moment, but he has been fantastic. There's no doubt about it. He is absolutely one of the best ruckmen over the last 5 years. So he's the one shining light for them as a player so far this year. They've got a couple good young players that look all right, but nobody's lighting up the numbers, the stat sheet. Certainly not like Tristan Cherry is. So if we put these into positions to see the spread, top 10% of players are in elite, and then the down to top 25 is top class, top 40 above average, top 60 to be in average category, and everybody else is below average. Players that haven't played 5 or more games, are unranked. I don't know how I mucked up that many times. So North Melbourne only have the 2 elite players, a general forward and a ruckman, obviously, Tristan Cherry and Paul Curtis. Only the 2 top class players, a general forward and a general defender. 1 above average. So across in the top 40% of their positions, they only have 5 players, which isn't great. when you look at what the AFL average should be based on numbers, how many players have played. Every team should be about 10 in the above average category, and they're sitting at 5. So they're about half. Their elite class isn't too bad, but their top class and above average classes, they just don't have enough players in those areas at the moment that are putting up the consistent good numbers. Whereas they have a lot in average over right on double what the expected amount would be, and same with the below average is about similar to what it should be. And then obviously 8 unranked players so far. But basically, the long and the short of it, they're top class players. Both Tristan Cherry, Paul Curtis, been fantastic. They don't have a lot else that have been fantastic this year. There's been too many players that aren't perhaps playing either their best or up to their potential. And that's the long and the short of it. I think basically that's how I see it, at least. Let me know in the comments below if you think it different. I'm happy to listen to all opinions. Final part of this episode will be our mid-season review, still to come for 2025 for the Kangaroos. And they have, 10 or 11 games left, whatever it is, 12. The expected win percentage is based on the ELO system that we have here at All Aussie Rules to rate each team. To give you just an idea of a win percentage heading into each game based on current numbers. That spits out an expected total wins and an expected ladder position. We'll get to those parts in a minute. We'll go game by game though. Round 12 is a bye week for the Kangaroos. Round 13, they head over west for a 2-week home game stretch against West Coast and Fremantle. West Coast at Hands Oval, Fremantle at Optus Stadium. They're a chance against West Coast, there's no doubt about it. West Coast not playing the best football so far this year. Whereas Fremantle, you'd think they will really struggle in that one. Carlton at the MCG. Hawthorn down in Tassie in round 16. Round 17 is the Bulldogs, another tough one for them. Before Melbourne and Sydney at the MCG and then the SCG. Round 20 is Geelong and then St Kilda in round 21, both of those at Marvel Stadium. GWS at Manuka, Richmond at Ninja Stadium, and finish the season with Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. So a couple tough ones to finish the year. Based on the numbers there, they've got an expected win tally of 5.5 for the year. They're currently sitting on 2.5, so basically suggesting they get 3 more wins this year, which would have them around about 16th on the ladder above West Coast and Richmond. How many of these games can we realistically see them winning? I think West Coast, even though it's over in the West, they're certainly capable of winning that one. Carlton at the MCG, I wouldn't expect them to be able to win that just because it's at the MCG. Marvel, maybe, but even still, Carlton should be able to beat them. The next chance might be Melbourne at the MCG, depending on how Melbourne are playing at that point. But if the Melbourne of current day, like the last few weeks, they won't get close to them. St Kilda at Marvel, you never know what's going to happen in that one. Richmond at Ninja Stadium is their big chance. So realistically, 2 to 3 wins is going to be tough. 2 wins is probably almost it. I know that the expected win says 3 for the rest of the year, but it's hard to see them getting more than a couple throughout the rest of the year. I think at the start of the year I said 7 was like their benchmark, what they had to aim for. They needed 7 or more. It's looking very unlikely that that's going to be the case. They've put into some good performances, but they've also put in some bad ones. I think they're just lacking a little bit of polish, a little bit of cleanliness, and a little bit of execution. And that's probably the difference for North Melbourne so far, that for them not to be able to take that next step. Will we see a better back half of the year? Let me know in the comments below. I really hope for North Melbourne's sake that we do see them start to string some more consistent football together, but we'll see how that plays out. That's all I've got for you in this mid-season review. Don't forget to like the video. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what you think of North Melbourne. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're heading towards 150 subscribers, so help me out. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to hit that noti bell so you don't miss any videos. Plenty of content coming up. All Aussie Rules everywhere, all over social media. Go check out the Instagram, the TikTok. That's where we post a lot of stuff. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next week with a couple podcasts and a couple more mid-season reviews. So check them out. This is All Aussie Rules. Catch ya on the next one.